Help me out, guys. Am I the only one who got confused with the fact that we came into this one way and then it literally switched around and went into what I consider the bad edit? Am I the only one that saw that? Or am I confused? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 9, and I'm confused. Maybe. I might not be really. I don't think I'm confused, but listen, let me just go ahead. We started this episode where there was a situation and there was no problem. And then somewhere along the episode, nobody filled us in, but all of a sudden that situation was then a problem. Did I get lost? Did I fall asleep halfway through? What happened? We're going to talk about it. And I'm talking about Candace and Chris. But we're going to talk about it. But I'm going to start right here. Ashley. Come here, girl. Come in close to the screen. Come in close, my love. Girl, does every scene that you do with your children involve poop? Is that's what it is? Your whole experience of motherhood involves poop? Is that what we're to believe? Because this is just stupid. And I'm sitting there like, okay, you got these little kids. Kids are very interesting. They do all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. And it goes on all day long, especially when they're that age. It's not hard to catch them and get good footage of them doing something that is absolutely hilarious. Pooping, that ain't hilarious. It's not. I never found it hilarious any of the times that it's happened. When they pooped on you, when they pooped on Michael, when they pooped and the guests ran out the door and all of, but it's just poop, 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 poop. And at this point, I'm sick of your shit. I said it. Moving on. I'm going over here to G and Mia's house. She's getting some clothes together because she's getting ready to go for a luncheon with her mother. She's excited. She's going to go see this. See what they could get figured out. And her biggest thing was, I don't want to say anything. Now, what I thought was really cute. And I before I even get into this, because I'm a drag, just so y'all, I'm going to drag when it comes to, I got some old stuff to say about Mia and Mommy. But this I thought was very cute, that she refers to her mother as Mommy, and that's when she's not talking to her, when she's talking to her, when she's talking to us, she just refers to her as Mommy. I just think it's cute. I really do, especially with the fact that they have this estranged type of relationship. I thought it was cute. But I'd love to ask her mother, do you think it's cute? And I'll go more into that later because I'm going to drag. Yeah, I'm a drag mommy. I am. Yep. Anyway. So she's going to go to lunch, and she really was wanting to, she talked to G, she wanted to be very careful of what she said and did as to not upset her mother for risk of her sobriety. That's sweet, but no one is, and this is going to be harsh, okay? This is going to be harsh. No one is tiptoeing around crackheads. We're just not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not. The world doesn't tiptoe around crackheads. It just doesn't. Recovering addict, I get it. I'm happy for you. But ain't nobody tiptoeing around as if life didn't go on. You know, and life's not going on, and everybody has to be so careful, because if anybody says anything, you're going to go back to drugs. Baby, you're going to learn very, Very soon, Miss Mia, nobody in their right mind is tiptoeing around a crackhead, because a crackhead is a crackhead is a crackhead. Crackheads have a way of manipulating, and that always seems to be the one thing that they can't break. Even when they break the habit of doing the smoking and all of that, that manipulation, sorry, but I just haven't seen it done. I apologize to all of those that's getting tight in their chest. I know y'all doing it. Y'all getting tight in your chest right now. And guess what? I said what I said, and nope. I'm not going to BP and PP at all. I ain't going to take it back. Crackheads get away from, I've seen people definitely get off of drugs, definitely build a decent life for themselves. Definitely, I've seen them literally make fantastic grandparents, whereas they were shitty parents. But that manipulation part ain't going nowhere. It is always there. And it doesn't always lie dormant. It's always there, that manipulation part. They'll use your ass up in one hot minute. Please don't be fooled. And like I said, I'm not going to backpedal. I said what I said. And if you go pull up a video of me 7 years ago, you'll still hear me say the same thing about a crackhead. It's been that's what I know of the disease of drug abuse. It's drug abuse. They don't just abuse the drug, they abuse the people who care about them too. That's what makes it so terrible. That's how crack, see, I'm going on a soapbox. That's how crack was so able to destroy the family unit, because the person that gets on crack abuses everybody in the goddamn family. They steal from and make everybody in the family uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form. Crack does that. It destroys a whole family, from the grandparents all the way down to the smallest child in the family. It's always an issue. It's always an issue. I said what I said. Now back down off my soapbox, but boom, bam it. Like I said, it's real sweet for her to want to tiptoe around mommy, but girl, moving on. I'm going over Wendy and Eddie's house. Wendy was talking to Eddie, and of course, feelings is tender over at their house. We already know Eddie's a little tender. Always was, ever since we met him. It's one of the things that we kind of liked about Eddie, because Eddie was real in touch with his feelings. But for them to throw the gay thing on Eddie, don't like it. And I don't actually believe it. So I don't care for it. I understand he is that type of man. Like I said, he's tender. So I can imagine that he is very bothered by the allegations that are made. I don't know whether he's guilty or not guilty. He said he's not. Nobody has any hard, cold proof. So we want to say he's not. As long as Eddie says Eddie's straight and don't nobody come through with no boyfriend, then it's, in my eyes, Eddie is straight. As long as Eddie said he wasn't cheating on Wendy and don't nobody come through with no girlfriend or no boyfriend, then I'm fine. Eddie wasn't cheating. Period. So, again, I understand the feelings over at this house. And then when he said, it struck a chord when he said, why would I do all, like, it hurts so badly because we actually shared our story with them. Why would I go through that whole thing of losing my family and basically being disowned by his family in order to marry Wendy just to cheat on her? It makes complete and total sense. Why would you do that? Now we know that when a hot piece of tail comes by, things can change. But I don't know. I don't see it. Again, until somebody comes with some cold, hard proof and roll that beautiful bean footage, then I understand why they feel the way they feel. And I hadn't even really thought about that until they actually said it. Like, yeah, they really did come onto the show and bared their souls, you know, with the situation. It was that was a tough situation. And it's a little embarrassing. You know, it's a little embarrassing to get on and tell the world your whole family has disowned you for one decision because you love her. You know, that's, people turn on you because of who you love. Who would understand it any more than I or somebody like me? I can't imagine that there's one person from the LGBTQIA that couldn't grasp what those feelings were over at the Osefo house. Somebody stop me. But anyway, I get it. I get it. Moving on. Let's go on over here to Robin and Giselle. Child, Giselle, why did you do this? Like, I mean, I think it's the thing of like trying to be real, but it was real stupid for you to, you knew we was going to drag you when you showed that raggedy ass sliding door. You're way too bougie, sis, to have a raggedy sliding door at your place. Are you kidding? And it wasn't like it was tight, it was rusty. No, that bitch was broke. You over there with a raggedy sliding door. Why? You live in Potomac. You live in Potomac, but you got a door from Good Times. Don't do it. Don't do it. And think that we not going to drag. Stop it. That don't make no sense, Giselle, as much as you talk about people. And you over there with that old door. Girl, get on out of here, girl. I seen that Rob was over there struggling with that door. I was like, James! Child looked like I done walked into an episode of Good Times. Oh, raggedy ass door. Girl, if you don't get on out of here. Anyway, and what did they do? Get up in that house with the raggedy door, get on that old podcast, and what is it, Reasonably Shady, and start talking about other people. Throwing shots and subliminals about Wendy and her husband and their little situation. Mess. Pure mess. Dated topic. Oh, my friend. Now, don't nobody know what friend you talking about? Girl, you is a mess, Giselle, with your raggedy door. Anyway, and then she spilled her own tea. Did y'all catch it? Spilled her own tea when they were talking about relationships and this, that, thing, and the other. And then, oh yeah, me and Robert, we went and we pulled up these statistics about people cheating. And will they cheat? And will they cheat again? And then she gonna change it up. Oh, the statistics don't count on your behalf. Why not? Why not? Oh, no, Giselle has her own way of doing it. No, Giselle. The statistics said yes, as pertains to your situation, but you trying to feed us something else, sis? I don't think so. I don't think so. You got in that confessional, and they went and they asked you, girl, you choked up because you knew you was feeding a lot of bullshit. Them statistics said, yes, most men do cheat. Your husband did cheat on you, and you got divorced. And then once it's forgiven, will they cheat again? The statistics said yes. What you dealing with right now, sis? Rumors of him cheating and extra babies and all of that kind of thing. So what is you talking about? You up here saying no. When it's really yes. Get your ass on out of here, Giselle. Anyway, moving on. But you swung that whole, you had that whole time to actually make the focus you and be real. Like you were real and showed us that raggedy ass door. You could have been real and say, look at this. This is my life. But you didn't do that. You'd rather throw subliminals at the Osefos who say that they don't have anything going on when all along you actually got something going on. Psh, get on out of here. Moving on. Chris and Candace. Now this is what I was talking about, you all. Now right here, Candace is telling Chris that, you know, while I was up at the vacation, There was this whole little situation about you being my manager and all of this, and I basically felt it was shady if they even brought it up like that. I don't think that, this, that, thing, and the other. He just bust out laughing. I told you I liked that Chris, honey. Chris got swag. He just bust out laughing like, that's ridiculous. It is what it is. What we got going on is good. We're good over here. Then she started telling him about Ashley and how Ashley came and changed up everything. And then people were saying, oh, Ashley has changed. She said she hasn't changed at all. She hasn't changed at all. She gonna say, no forehead, you're messy. I said, girl, she was, listen, when I say she was ragtagging Ashley all through this episode, I said, girl, will she get hold of you and get you back? I'm waiting on it because you have dragged Ashley's boots this whole episode. No forehead, you are messy. I said, oh. And Chris said, well, you're being a little harsh, you know? You think? So at that point, everything was just fine, which is where we've been this whole season with this. It's fine. I said, okay, all right. Now, I'm going to come back to that. Let's move on. I'm going to go over here and talk about Ashley. Ashley went and took her baby. I said, come on here, rich people problems. The baby is having an issue feeding. He's not latching on, so he's not getting full feedings. So he's basically kind of up like every hour because he's not taking the whole bottle. You know, he's not getting a whole feeding in. So he's getting hungry. So he's waking up, which is literally making her jump up, and her rest is broken. And then she says the thing for me, which is so problematic, is she says, you know, and with this happening, it's causing a problem in our relationship. It's making me have less time for Michael. Let me say something here. Girl, are you in a marriage? Or are you in bondage? They went to see this lady that does massages on the baby. I said, okay, since you're going to massage the baby, okay, whatever. The rich people problems, child. Massage the baby. Listen, it is what it is. If you got to get up every hour, get up every hour and feed the baby. Just feed the baby, child. It is what it is. All this extra shit. But again, with Michael, Grad spent his money on nothing too. You deserve it. But girl, you should be putting that money in your purse. The money for the, girl, that was a nice little piece of stash change. Instead of giving it to some woman to massage, you could massage the baby your goddamn self. Go down on YouTube. That woman probably got videos to tell you how to massage the baby. And then put the money that you give her into your change purse for when you make your speedy giveaway from Michael and his dumb ass. Anyway, moving on. Then they're in the car on the way back. And he made some comments that I'm going to ask again. Are you in a marriage? Or are you in bondage? Are you working for a modeling agency? Or are you doing pageants again? He's, you know, you're losing weight, which is really good for me, and this, that, and the other. And everything is about Michael, 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 Michael. Just like there's not two little people in the house. You don't realize everything. Everything's not about you, Michael. As a matter of fact, nothing at that house at this point should be about you. It should all be about those two boys. No one cares if nobody's screwing you, Michael. No one cares. You're going, like, you're literally jumping fences and ducking and dodging over cars, trying to make sure Michael doesn't cheat on you because he feels like he's not being fulfilled in the bedroom, and you just had babies. Like, stop it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And all of this stuff about your weight and your appearance and all of it. You've dealt with postpartum. You're having little issues where the baby don't want to feed properly, and all of these things that are really important and totally understandable. None of that means nothing because Michael wants to, what, sweat all over you with his old ass. That'll make your getaway, girl, and you take your boys and jump in the Batmobile and take his money. Girl, get as much of it as you can because you've earned every penny. And y'all know I don't even care for Ashley all like that. But the truth of the matter is the truth of the matter. Girl, Get him, honey. Get him. I said it. Moving on. I'm sick of his old ass. Moving on. And then the thing is, one more last thing. Michael, come here, honey. Come close to the screen. And I'm going to ask you a question. And this is about Ashley, Juan, and the people that you slid around and touched and all of that. Who do you think wants you? While you worried about her weight and her appearance. Have you seen you lately? Get your ass out of my face. Anyway, moving on. I'm going on back over here to Robin's house. Robin, why are you having a conversation with Carter like Carter is your best girlfriend? Giselle's your best girlfriend. Carter don't know what the hell you talking about. She had this whole conversation with Carter about getting herself a life coach and she gonna do it for herself for her birthday. Huh? Carter not your girlfriend. You couldn't find nobody that, what, Giselle wasn't available, so you gonna film with Carter. Child, I said, this is just a stupid. Get on out of here, Robin. That was just ridiculous. But go on to the counselor. But Carter ain't know the hell he was talking about, you damn goon. Moving on. Mia finally goes and sits down with Veronica. Oh, here we go. Veronica's her mother. She sits down with her. Veronica right away rubbed me the wrong way. She did. She rubbed me the wrong way. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm happy for the lady that she got her life in order. I am. But what I heard from her story, all I heard was victim. Victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. And then she said some hurtful shit out of her mouth. I said, are you serious right now? First of all, she seemed very uncomfortable. She seemed uncomfortable with Mia. She really did. And this before they even start talking, I had to ask myself, did she even like Mia? Because it seemed to me like she didn't like her. Now, did anybody else get that? Y'all, please tell me in the comments. Did you get a feel that the mama don't really care for Mia? Because I got that she really just didn't even care for her. And then the mother started talking, and I said, oh, you got a lot of other little issues, sister. And the drugs ain't just it. You got some internal stuff that at the time don't seem like you was mommy material. You probably did yourself a good thing by getting away from her, because there was some issues there. There's some issues. She goes into this thing. We see a picture of, you can tell Mia likes her daddy. She loves her daddy. She looks just like this man. Oh my God. She looks just like this man. And the camera wasn't, and I'm going to say I ain't going to go drag Mia, but the camera wasn't very, the camera wasn't nice to Mia in this part of the episode. Too much close-ups. Not good. And I'm going to leave that right there. But she really does favor her daddy. She favors him. She said to her mother, she said something about her baby Juju, her little girl. And I want y'all to hear me and hear me clear. Because I know some of y'all going to get mad, but I don't care. Because I'm just going to say it. She said, I know you don't like me talking about Juju, so obviously Veronica likes Juju. Maybe. And she's like, Juju, she be cutting up, she be acting up, and this, that, and the other, and on and on and on. And she said, yeah, she said, she said, she acts just like you. She acts just like you. Well, she's saying the Juju's pretty extra. She said she acts just like you. And she says, then she went, and a little bit right after that, she said that Mia acts just like her dad. But she said, I remember saying, I can't stand her. I can't stand this little girl. She acts just like him. So this was all the way back to when Mia was Juju's age. And that was what you had to say about your daughter? I can't stand her. She acts just like him. She clearly has a disdain for the father. She don't like that at all, okay? And she said, well, what did my dad do? Now, I know Mia's kind of airheadish at times, and that's an act. That's an act. But I know Mia had the clock. She just said your daughter is just like you, and she couldn't even stand you. So do you really like my daughter? Now, I don't know. Am I putting 20 on 10? But it sure stood out for me, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't leave her babysitting nothing of mine. You make that call. If my mother made a comment that my child was just like me and she couldn't stand me, the hell I'm going to leave my child with her for? Anyway, moving on. Miss Veronica, I ain't have Miss Veronica to do. She went on. She said, well, Mommy, what did my dad do? I'm not going to get into all that. So I'm waiting. I'm thinking, did he beat her? What did he do? So Mia, we had heard about Mia being taken away because something happened in the house. Her mother tells a story. Mia was she's young. She's trying to cook oatmeal. Her dad wasn't paying her no attention. The mama said she was gone at work. She said, I only been at work for 15 minutes. And they called me and told me I got to go back home. Mia done went and turned over a pot of oatmeal on herself. She trying to cook oatmeal and then turned the oatmeal over on herself. And she said she still has scars. I'm sure she does because, you know, oatmeal is like playing grit ball. It sticks. So she got balled up. She said, I got, you know, marks all over my body, you know, from it. I was like, oh my God, poor thing. But her daddy went and watched her. She said, and then when she got to the house, she said, and that's what she said. And I still got the sense that she don't even, why I gotta go home? She there with her dad. Like she was just so over it. Like, is there more to the story? Did you get pregnant with me and you really didn't want no baby? Or what happened, girl? But anyway, she gets home and then she said he was down in the basement with another woman. Well, wait a minute. What the hell was Mia doing? They'd already called you. So I guess the paramedics must have beat her there and got the baby or something. But he was downstairs in the basement with another woman. So she ended up breaking up with him and putting him out. And then she said she figured out that she couldn't live without him. So she went, I guess she said, do you know your dad introduced me to drugs? And then she said, I tried to commit suicide over your dad. You know that, right? Okay. Veronica. This is when I said I was going to drag her. So every issue in your life is all her dad's fault. He introduced you to drugs. And you threw him out, but then you decided that you couldn't live without him and you wanted to commit suicide. See, this takes me back to the beginning of this review. You were worried about triggering her. She's a walking trigger of her own. Ain't nothing you can say to make her get in her bag more than she already in the bag. She ridiculous. She is ridiculous. And I don't know, what did you do at NA? Because you still telling that story like that. That don't sound like nobody that's completely recovered from nothing. You need some counseling. Because everything ain't your fault. You had it all together. He messed up the baby. And then your life went downhill because you put him out. And then you got back with him. And then you got on drugs. But ain't none of that your fault. All of that's his fault. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. And I'm like, okay, so I'm sure we're going to see and hear more of this. And I'm really open to hear more of this. But this does sound like more of that crackhead manipulation bullcrap. Woe is me. I was done so bad. I'm not responsible for anything. I didn't do anything. Mia, you're better than me. I can tell you now, James wouldn't be wanting a relationship with Veronica. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Veronica. Veronica could go straight to hell, honey. I wouldn't be fooling with Veronica. But anyway, and she definitely wouldn't be around my daughter that acts just like me, that you couldn't stand me at the same age. Get out of here. Anyway, moving on. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all thought. Listen. Crackishness 101. I ain't got time for it. Moving on. Karen, Mia, and Wendy went to a place so that it's the actual venue that Karen's going to have her her vow renewal at. And they were actually, they had the dress designer there, and she's choosing a second dress. She said that, you know, she had went ahead and she got the first dress. It was $10,000, and it came from Turkey. Why we needed to hear that, Karen, I don't know, but I guess that's part of being the grand dame, honey. Whatever. Anyway, Ray, she told Ray, I want us to come walking down those steps. Child, Ray's old ass looked up at them steps like, girl, you trying to take me out, honey. You trying to get rid of me, honey? All them damn steps. I said, poor Ray. Anyway, she always does too much. But yeah, she was trying on dresses. That last dress, I agree with them. I was like, what is them sleeves? Girl, if you don't get that Pirates and Penzance old goddamn wedding gown mess, it was terrible. I was like, and it like, ooh, I just didn't like it. I don't know. First of all, let me just say this. This is off topic, kinda, but I can't stand gowns that are sheer and there's like the underlining, and the underlining cuts off like a mini skirt, and then you can see the legs underneath the underline. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't know what design aesthetic that is. I've always thought it was incorrect. Period. Every time I see it, I'm like, that is incorrect. That is just stupid. That doesn't look good at all. It looks like you were making something and you didn't have enough fabric to do the lining, so you cut the lining off short, but forgot that the dress is see-through, and now we can see where you cut the lining short. It just looks stupid to me. I don't like it. Sheer gowns like that, listen, be bad. Be a bad, like Beyonce, who wears stuff like that, where it's completely sheer all the way down, all the way through, and you wear nude panties and a nude bra. Do it. If you're going to do it, do it. But that old half a lining situation, I don't like no mini dress under no long dress look. That's just dumb. Anyway, here we go again. Down off my soapbox. But bam it. The dress it was a no for me. The girls didn't like it either. It's like, ugh. But Mia and her old shady self, Mia gonna say, this is the venue? Oh, okay. She's like, we're gonna have to do something with the outside of it. When she walked up, she said, it looks like a warehouse. It did. It did. But I mean, like, who cares? The inside was beautiful. So who cares? I'm like, go sit down. Go sit down, Mia. Go and sit down. Then Mia ends up telling them, you know, I got an invite for a birthday party for Robin, and I noticed that you two weren't on the invite. Messy boots. Of course, that all was Giselle's doing, so it's not a shock. In that confessional, they asked Giselle, why did you do that? And she's like, you know, our last little meeting, and it just, nah, you hoes ain't invited. I said, you're going to get enough of calling these lady hoes and stuff. The reunion for this show is going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. Anyway, so Karen tells Mia, listen, I'm going to send a message with you. Everything can be fine with this whole situation. Giselle just has to apologize to me, and then we'll be good. So just go tell her to apologize to me, and then we'll be fine. I was like, okay, Karen, go sit down, child. You go on over there and continue trying to talk Ray into walking down all them damn steps. Moving on. Candace and Chris, this was my other thing. Candace and Chris bust out, and they start having this conversation. They go to lunch. Now, this is so totally contradictory to the first conversation we saw about him being the manager. Now she's fussing about him not being at the video shoot. She's going to do her video. He has some classes to teach, and she's fussing because he's not going to be there. And he's like, well, Candace, I mean, I've done all the work that needs to be done up to that part. I'm going to be there for 2 parts of it. I got to go do my stuff. Because other than that, I mean, what I'm going to do, just like never do any work and just always do your stuff and then be sitting around waiting on you to give me an allowance. That's not what we're doing. Like, I don't work for you. I'm not being paid for this job. And I still have aspirations and things that I need to do. And that's it. I don't mind doing your stuff. But, you know, like, what are you even doing and saying right now? And I'm like, wait a minute. So in the beginning, you all built this whole thing that everything was fine, and now you're talking like the stuff Giselle was saying. Like, what are you saying? Like, that's none of that made any sense to me. Then she says to him, I will cuss your ass out, which is always the issue with him. Why is she still talking to him like he's one of her kids? Like, she still talks down to him. I thought you had kind of corrected her on that. And what he did, he said, well, find someone else to do all this shit for you for free. I ain't got to do this shit. Which was completely true. And he got up and he walked out and left her ass there. See, again, that ain't married couple business. Your husband, you don't walk, child, walk. But, I mean, he did that to get back at her because he knew he would embarrass her. Get up and walk out and leave her. She's like, why am I paying the bill? I said, oh, see, here we go. Everything that y'all said wasn't an issue, obviously is an issue. So what's been said by Dorothy and what's been said by Giselle, it did get up in your spirit. And now you're giving Chris the bad edit. You're building for Chris to have the bad edit, when meanwhile, you're being ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. And I'm going to say to you, girl, come here, Candace. Come close. You know the drill. Who do you know that is a recording artist whose manager is with them all the time? Nobody. Your manager don't be around for no video shoots. You want an assistant? Go hire you an assistant. Your husband's not your assistant, and you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And y'all need to get that together. And she shouldn't be still doing that to him and saying that stuff. Then when they got in the car, she's like, why would you say that? Because now your feelings is hurt that he told you find somebody else to do that shit for free for you. But meanwhile, you just told him, I will cuss your ass out, like he wasn't shit. So the way y'all talking to each other, both of y'all out of order. Both of y'all are out of order. Y'all need to get that together. That is ugly. Then you got in the car and said, I'm trying not to cuss you out. No, go ahead and cuss me out, Candace. I'll cuss you out with your crying ass. Because that's the thing. You try not to cuss him out. Well, we know if he cuss you out, you'll be in counseling. Girl, get on out of here. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's go on over here to this birthday party. Child, in short, at the birthday party, Giselle was giving, Candace was running it to Giselle like, wait a minute, you didn't invite Karen and Wendy? No, well, they're said, she's like, that's not fair. That's not fair. That ain't cool. Yeah, that ain't cool. Then Candace basically, listen, remember, you know, I'll tell you all the time about misplaced anger. She said it when she was coming in. She's like, I hate having it all with my husband. Because it was literally 3 hours after them two were together. She went to this party. When I tell you that she came in and gave everything she was feeling for Chris to Ashley, maybe she came in there and dragged Ashley. And Ashley had no idea that it literally was all what she really wanted to give Chris. And Chris, I think, was given, okay, one more thing and I'm going to get you. And she kind of left it alone. Because he probably would have really cussed her out for real when the cameras went off. But yeah, she came in there and she gave it to Ashley. She came in there, she called Ashley a filthy milkmaid. She called her a hoe. She was saying you had no business coming down to the trip and starting up the mess. And we feel like you put 20 on 10 and you kind of put a battery in Wendy's back with the whole thing. Like, you did too much. She called her a hoe. Like I said, she called her a filthy milkmaid. She said something about her coming in there, she said, with your wide body ass. She gonna say, oh, so you're body shaming. And the thing was, Candace was firing at Ashley so bad and so fast that Ashley was taken off guard. And Ashley was like, it was kind of sad because Ashley was like, oh, do you all see this? Like, she's body shaming me. She was tearing your ass up. And the thing she was saying was really getting to you. She was hitting you low and you couldn't take it, girl. She was giving you body blows. Girl, you were looking for people to help you. You were looking for allies, and it wasn't working, baby. They wasn't getting into it. The girls was giving this, oh, girl, and she was lighting your ass up. I said, now, Candace, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that because we know Ashley. Ashley's going to get you back. But, baby, you won this round. She let her have it. She said, body shaming you. You body shamed yourself when you walked in here with your wide ass, with your big face, and your big ass forehead. You body shamed yourself. I said, oh. I ain't even picking no right, no wrong, no different. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Listen, this round went to Candace. Candace lit Ashley's ass on fire. And Ashley was not ready. It was very Tiffany Haddish. She ain't ready. You wasn't ready, Ashley. But Miss Candace, if you think Ashley ain't going to get you back, sweetie, you are completely delusional. She going to get you. You just wasted your time, girl. She going to get you, and we will be watching. All right, y'all, leave it in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.